Hello students, this is your English lesson. In this lesson, we will read unit number 12, Uncle Podger Hangs a Picture from Oxford Modern English 6. So we start our lesson. First of all, words to know. Charwoman, a woman employed to clean the house. Deadbeat, completely exhausted. Grovel, to speak or behave in a very humble manner to gain favor. Hinder, block. Precipitated, caused something to happen suddenly. Sneer, to curl the upper lip as a way of showing dislike toward something or somebody considered to be worthless. Spirit level, a device consisting of a sealed glass tube containing liquid and an air bubble whose position tells whether a surface is level. Now come to the reading. You never saw such a commotion. Commotion, a state of confused. You never saw such a commotion up and down a house in all your life as when my Uncle Podger undertook to do a job. A picture would have come from the frame makers and be standing in the dining room, waiting to be put up, and Aunt Podger would ask what was to be done with it, and Uncle Podger would say, "Oh, you leave that to me, don't you? Any of you worry yourselves about that. I will do all that." And then he would take off his coat and begin. He would send the girl out for 6 pence of nails. 6 pence of nails, the value of 6 old pennies. And then one of the boys after her to tell her what size to get. And from that, he would gradually walk down and start the whole house. "Now you go and get me my hammer, Will," he would shout, "and you bring me the rule, Tom, and I shall want the stepladder, and I had better have a kitchen chair too, and Jim, you run round to Mr. Goggles and tell him Pa's kind regards and hopes his leg's better, and will he lend me his spirit level? And don't you go, Maria, because I shall want somebody to hold me the light. And when the girl comes back, she must go out again for a bit of picture cord. And Tom, where's Tom? Tom, you come here. I shall want you to hand me up the picture." And then he would lift up the picture and drop it, and it would come out of the frame, and he would try to save the glass and cut himself, and then he would spring around the room looking for his handkerchief. He could not find his handkerchief because it was in the pocket of the coat he had taken off, and he did not know where he had put the coat, and all the house had to leave off looking for his tools and start looking for his coat, while he would dance around and hinder them. "Doesn't anybody in the whole house know where my coat is? I never came across such a set in all my life. Upon my word, I didn't. 6 of you, and you can't find a coat that I put down not 5 minutes ago. Well, of all the—" Then he would get up and find that he had been sitting on it and would call out, "Oh, you can't give it up. I have found it myself now. Might just as well ask the cat to find anything as expect you people to find it." And when half an hour had been spent in trying up his finger, and a new glass had been got, and the tools, and the ladder, and the chair, and the candle had been brought, he would have another go, the whole family, including the girl and the charwoman, standing round in a semicircle ready to help. Two people would have to hold the chair, and a third would help him up on it and hold him there, and a fourth would hand him a nail, and a fifth would pass him up the hammer, and he would take hold of the nail and drop it. There he would say in an injured tone, "Now the nail's gone." And we would all have to go down on our knees and grovel for it. Grovel, crawl. While he would stand on the chair and grunt and want to know if he was to be kept there all the evening. The nail would be found at last, but by that time he would have lost the hammer. "Where is the hammer? What did I do with the hammer? Great heavens, 7 of you gaping round there, and you don't know what I did with the hammer." We would find the hammer for him, and then he would have lost sight of the mark he had made on the wall where the nail was to go in, and each of us had to get up on the chair beside him, and we would each discover it in a different place, and he would call us all fools one after another and tell us to get down, and he would take the rule and remeasure and find that he wanted half 31 and 3/8 inches from the corner, and would try to do it in his head and go mad. And we would all try to do it in our heads and all arrive at different results and sneer at one, sneer, mocking smiles, and sneer at one another, and in the journal row the original number would be forgotten, and Uncle Podger would have to measure it again. He would use a bit of string this time, and at the critical moment when the old fool was leaning over the chair at an angle of 45 and trying to reach a point 3 inches beyond what was possible for him to reach, the string would slip and down he would slide on to the piano, a really fine musical effect being produced by the suddenness with which his head and body struck all the notes at the same time. And Aunt Maria would say she would not allow the children to stand around and hear such language. At last, Uncle Podger would get the spot fixed again and put the point of the nail on it with his left hand and take the hammer in his right hand. And with the first blow, he would smash his thumb, smash, violently break. He would smash his thumb and drop the hammer with a yell on somebody's toes. Aunt Maria would mildly observe that next time that Uncle Podger was going to hammer a nail into the wall, she hoped he would let her know in time so that she could make arrangements to go and spend a week with her mother while it was being done. "Oh, you women, you make such a fuss." Fuss? Show unnecessary concern. "You make such fuss over everything," Uncle Podger would reply, picking himself up. "Why, I like doing a little job of this sort." And then he would have another try, and at the second blow the nail would go clean through the plaster and half the hammer after it, and Uncle Podger be precipitated again. Precipitated caused to happen suddenly. Precipitated against the wall with force nearly sufficient to flatten his nose. Sufficient enough. Then we had to find the rule and the string again, and a new hole was made, and about midnight the picture would be up, very crooked and insecure, crooked, bent, the wall 4 yards round, looking as if it had been smoothed down with a rack, and everybody dead beat and wretched except Uncle Podger. "There you are," he would say, stepping off the chair on to the chairwoman's corns and surveying the mess he had made with evident pride. "Why, some people would have had a man in to do a little thing like that." Now come to the questions. 1. How do we first learn that Uncle Podger does not do things in a very organized manner? Answer. When Uncle Podger sends the girl out for nails, he forgets to tell her what size. He has to send one of the boys after her. This is when we first learn that he is not organized. B. What are the two things that the girl has to do? Answer. The girl has to get 6 pence of nails and a bit of picture code. C. How does Uncle Podger lose his coat and then find it again? Answer. Uncle Podger loses his coat because he is sitting on it and only finds it again when he stands up. D. Uncle Podger does not give much credit to his helpers. Give two examples to show this. Answer. Uncle Podger says, might just as well ask the cat to find anything as expect you people to find it. Later he says, great heavens, 7 of you gapping around there and you don't know what I did with the hammer. These examples show that Uncle Podger does not give much credit to his helpers. E. Which statement tells us that the narrator does not think much of Uncle Podger's intelligence? Answer. When the old fool was leaning over the chair at an angle of 45 and trying to reach a point 3 inches beyond what was possible for him to reach, tells us the author does not think much of Uncle Podger's intelligence. F. How long did it take Uncle Podger to hang the picture? How long does Aunt Podger think it will take him to hang it up? Answer. It took Uncle Podger most of the day and half the night to hang the picture. Aunt Podger thinks it may take him a week. 2. Read through the passage again and make a list of the various things that go wrong. Podger tries to save the glass and cuts himself. He loses his handkerchief. He drops the nail. He loses the hammer. He loses sight of the mark on the wall. Trying to do a sum in his head drives him mad. He forgets the original number. While using a piece of string to measure, he falls off the chair onto the piano. After that, he smashed his thumb with the hammer. At the second attempt, he drives the nail and hammer into the wall. This nearly flattens his nose. B. Working with words. Match the following well-known idioms in A with their meanings. B. A. To build castles in the air. To daydream or think of things which may never come true. B. To bury the hatchet. To make peace. Forget past disagreements or quarrels. C. To cry over spilt milk. To be unhappy about something that can no longer be put right. D. To do a thing by hook or by crook. To do something by any means, whether fair or foul. E. To draw the line at. To refuse to do anything beyond a certain limit. F. To eat one's own words. To apologize or take back what one has said. 2. Similes. These similes are all wrong. Can you rewrite them using the words given below so that they make good sense? A. As agile as a monkey. B. As bright as a lark or peacock. C. As faithful as a dog, hound. D. As slow as a snail. E. As timid as a mouse. F. As clumsy as an elephant. 3. Hyphens. Look through the reading passage and find words with hyphens. Frame maker, dining room, step ladder, kitchen chair, spirit level, picture chord, semicircle, 31, 45. 4. Use the following in sentences of your own. A. Bow fronted building. The building which is opposite to my house is bow fronted building. B. Parade ground voice. The president addressed the audience using his parade ground voice. C. Wood paneled hall. The wood paneled hall increased the value of this house. 4. A picture queue window. This room features a large picture queue window, a privacy door, a single bed, and small toilet. E. A 7-piece band. A 7-piece band is going to perform on the annual sport day of the college. 5. Where will you add a hyphen to make these sentences correct? A. A green-fingered gardener can grow plants easily. B. The top heavy sack fell off the top shelf. C. The circus performer entertained us with a hair-raising trick. D. His brother-in-law was a hard-working office manager. E. The new member for parliament has left-wing ideas. C. Learning about language. Change the following sentences from the present continuous tense to the past continuous tense. Add a suitable time phrase to each sentence. A. The captain was shouting at his crew this morning. B. The workers were on strike last week. C. Yesterday, the customer was complaining about the slow service. D. This morning, Shiraz was waiting patiently to see the doctor. E. Manzoor was helping his father build a house last year. 2. Change the following sentences from the past continuous tense to the future continuous. Don't forget to change the time phrase in each sentence. A. Tomorrow the gardener will be watering the plants with the hose pipe. B. Tonight Atif will be entertaining us with his songs. C. Next Sunday, a policeman will be checking driving licenses on the highway. D. The participants in the race will be motoring across the desert next month. E. Next year, the ship will be sailing between Karachi and Singapore. Thanks for listening. For new videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like my videos, please share and like.